Awesome. All right. Well, welcome everyone to our Monday night team call. My name is Natalie Schauer. If you don't know me, I am a senior Ruby ambassador, and I have been through all the things. I feel like I'm sure there's more on the other side or whatever, but like, I feel like I've been through all the things. So when I share from a lot of experience. I'm sharing from a lot of, falling forward and figuring out what works and whatever. So tonight I wanted to talk about intentions versus intentionality, and then kind of give you guys some practical stuff to cash in on the Nashville contest. So I don't think anyone's really gone through a lot of that stuff. If you've been on some Monday Momentum calls with Plexus, they've done a lot of these, but with our team, I thought it'd be good for us to really show what that looks like on how to cash in on as much stuff as possible. So funny, I was trying to think, you're like trying to think of what to name this thing. And I was like, we're like trying to get boots, and I'm talking about intentionality. And I was like, man, these boots were made for walking, not talking. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just not a cheesy name kind of girl. So like, we're not doing that. It's intentions versus intentionality. Here we are. So if you've heard me before, I love to talk about intentionality. Maybe you're like, good night. You talk about intentionality all the time, but it's because it is so important, and it really has become the root of my business and why my business is thriving today compared to what it was last year. So last January, we were evaluating, my business, and it was not in a good spot, to be very honest with you. It looked good from the outside, but there was nothing happening. Have you guys ever felt like you're like going uphill, but it's almost like you're just stuck on the elliptical? Like you're actually not doing anything. You're just moving your legs and like nothing's happening. You're not taking any ground. You're not growing. And you're like, man, I'm doing the things. What in the world is going on? And you're just kind of stuck, right? That is the worst feeling. And that's kind of where we were last year. And one thing that I really realized is that when I was, in prayer about it and trying to figure out what this looked like and what I was going to do to move forward, like God really showed me, like my business was very much built on sand. It wasn't built on any type of solid foundation at all. And when you're built on sand, that just crumbles. It just keeps crumbling. Sand just keeps like falling underneath. That is not solid for you to build your business on. So if you're trying to build on sand, you're building in vain. You need to find a solid foundation to build your business on. We were grinding. We were not growing. We were just so exhausted. When you're built on sand, it is not a good, healthy place to be. So I was really praying about like, what should my year look like in my business? And I really felt like the Lord gave me the word intentionality for last year. And so I was like, okay, intentionality is what is going to really build this thing. So what I realized in that is this might relate to you, but I had a subconscious fear built up of actually going diamond because of a lack of intentionality. Because here's the thing, I realized I was scared to get to the top because I was just throwing things out there to see what stuck. So how was I going to be able to lead anybody up to that place? How was I going to be able to sustain that if I don't even know what I did intentionally to get there? And so if you are leading and you're like having a fear of getting to the top, my guess is that you don't have enough intentionality or follow through in your business. And you don't have rooted systems, you don't have values, and you don't have rooted belief in what you're doing. And so you have to be intentional about building those things. We've put a lot of work into, our business over the last year. And I say our because I have a lot of leaders who have done a lot of these same things. Everything duplicates, right? And so we put a lot of work into this. And so I was trying to think of like, what do I want this team call to look like? When I lead, what should I talk about? Because there's got to be like something that, really made me boom, like something that switched it. Like what was the light switch that flipped? And to be very honest with you, I wish I could give you like the magic pill or the magic thing or the formula. And honestly, there's not like one thing that really flipped our businesses and helped us to be better. It actually really was a lot of small shifts and changes in our business that were very intentional over the last year. And so it was really cool to look back on this year as I was reflecting, even with Emily today. And I'm like, man, we put a lot of intentional work into the last year and really got, like Leah just said, brilliant at the basics. We really just we put some systems in place. We got some core values, we got some core beliefs, and we built that. We created culture in our team. One thing is at the beginning of the year, last year, we wrote down exactly what we wanted our culture to look like. If you've been to Ruby Retreat or some of different things, like this is something that they've done at a lot of these, but like, what do you want your team culture to look like? You have to be intentional about building culture. You cannot just allow it to happen. Culture will build itself if you're not intentional about it. Some culture is going to build. So you have to be intentional about what kind of culture you're building. We went through and we decided that we wanted to create a culture of community. We wanted to have fun. We wanted to be rooted in faith. We wanted to be driven. We wanted to be intentional, like all of these different things. So go through and write down very specifically what you want in your people and what you want in your culture. Things that we implemented team huddles. So every Thursday night, right before book club, my team gets together and we just huddle up. Sometimes we talk through some things together, and sometimes it's me doing a training. If you really want to step up in your leadership and you want to learn leadership, just start doing trainings with your team. I promise you it will grow your leadership. If you're very intentional about leading and training your team, you will grow in that area. There were some times I had no idea what to train on. So I would look for something, Brittany Howard or, all these people that I emulated and looked up to. I would watch one of their trainings. And then I would just basically regurgitate that to my team sometimes, because I'm like, this really inspired me. I'm going to take notes on it and I'm going to basically regurgitate it to my team, and created my own training out of that. And so that's going to build leadership equity with your team, but it's also going to help you in what training and all that looks like, being intentional with that. We implemented Zoom coaching calls every single Monday. I know y'all have heard me talk about this before. Every Monday, we have scheduled coaching calls with our team. Our team does not miss our coaching calls. If we have to miss for any reason, it gets rescheduled for like the next available time. Like my team thrives on coaching calls. We love our coaching calls, and we actually really, really, really love digging in with our sponsor and with our downline to really lean in and see what we don't see, I guess. Like they help you to see your blind sides. They help you to see, areas that you can improve in mindset. So improving and really working on getting those coaching calls every single week was a huge thing for us. We started doing Bible studies every Thursdays at 10 a.m. Some of y'all got to join in those over the Christmas, but Thursdays at 10 a.m. we do Bible study together, because one of our values was we wanted to be rooted in our faith and we wanted to draw people to the Lord. So we started doing Bible study together. We started doing challenges with our team. Right now we're doing this thing called weekly comfort zone challenges. Last week we did to get your sip and share scheduled and on the books, right? That was our comfort zone challenge last week. Get a sip and share on the books. This week, the comfort zone challenge is get 3 people on that call with Christina tomorrow, new VIPs who have never shared anything, and get them to invite people onto that call for tomorrow. So that's this week's challenge. If you are not utilizing opportunities like those, you're not being very intentional. I'm going to tell you that right now. Use the opportunities that are in front of you. Your chance for VIPs just in your back office with normal people to get on a call with someone like, any of our diamonds, but like Christina, that doesn't happen very often. So utilize those opportunities and get them in front of those diamonds who are seeing some really good results. Okay, so let's start with what drives intentionality. So intentionality is driven by, you may or may not have guessed, by your why. Okay, so your why is what drives intentionality at the core, a why or what you wish for. Okay, so as humans, we wish every day. It's like the most human act that we do. We wish that, we were a little bit warmer, or we wish that, our hair was out of our face, or we wish that, if we're hungry, we're wishing for food. We wish that this drive didn't take so long. Like we're constantly wishing all day long. Like we're wishing for something. It's usually what drives you to make changes. Wishing is what drives you to make changes, to turn your heat on, to eat, whatever. It's that, what happens in your brain. So when we're wishing, the problem is our bodies are designed to protect ourselves. So we wish in a box. We wish in this very little box because we don't want to be let down by unrealistic expectations. So we prevent ourselves from dreaming and wishing big, right? We don't do that very often. So the first step to being intentional with your team is you have to allow yourself to let your wishes run wild. Okay. So let it pretend a genie is in front, whatever you have to do, a genie is in front of you and says, I will, grant you whatever wish in the world that you could hope for. No matter how crazy that is to you, write that down, write those things down. Even if they seem out of the box, crazy, whatever, just write those things down so that they're out on paper. And I would encourage you to share those with somebody, whether it's your husband, your sponsor, your wife, whatever, write those things down. And then that will help you to know what's at the core, and that's your why. And that should It should be big enough that it directs your attention and changes your habits, right? If it's not big enough to direct your attention and change your habits, it's not quite big enough. You need to go bigger with that. So once you've got your wishes will birth your will. Okay. So our will is our ability to make a decision, right? So it's making a decision. It's deciding to take action on something. It is your will. Your will is your decision to do something, your human will. It's to move forward with something. It's to act, like I said, actively decide, and you will things into motion. So our will is driven by our attention, right? So think about this. If you are in bed and you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, my bed is so soft. And I'm so warm under these covers and it's so cold out there. I don't want to get out of my bed. I just want to stay in this bed, whatever. And you're sitting in your bed thinking about your circumstances. You're focused on your circumstances in your bed, right? Your attention is on those things. And in that moment, you are in a state of paralysis and you're not moving, you're not changing anything, you're not doing anything because you're focused on your circumstances, your current circumstances. However, all of a sudden, I focus my attention on, I have to get my kids up to get them to school. I need to get out of this bed. So that turns it into a will. I've now decided I need to get up and get my kids to bed, which shows my intentionality of getting out of bed and now getting my kids ready for school. You don't get out of bed in the morning by happenstance. It is intentional in some way. So that if you are too focused on your circumstances and what's just happening around you, chances are you're not going to be able to focus your attention on the future and what your wishes are and what your wills are. You have to make sure that your attention and your focus is on those big dreams and those big wishes. This is why vision boards work so well. It helps you to keep your attention and your focus on what you're doing, because your focus and your attention will drive your will. Your will then opens the door to your intentions. So what actions are you going to put into motion to make that happen, right? What actions am I going to put into place? That is your intention. Your intention is, it's not what you're doing, it's what you're deciding your actions are going to be. These are the actions I'm going to put into place, right? So this is where we decide that we want to grow. Our will, and this is decide that we want to grow because we want what we wish for. So our intention is to start ranking up. Our intention is to develop 2 silvers every month. Our intention is to sweep that convention contest. Like, those are intentions, right? Here's the problem. If you are stuck in your business right now, chances are you are stuck with good intentions and you don't have any intentionality or targeted action to back up what your intentions are. Does that make sense? So you have solid intentions, but you don't have targeted action, which is what intentionality is. It is targeted action. You don't have that put into play to make sure that it backs up your intentions. You can have good intentions all day. You have to have targeted action to put things into motions. Intentions are thought-based, right? These are the things that you're thinking, where intentionality is action-based. You cannot have intentionality without action. All right, don't miss this next part. Intention is merely hoping for better habits. Intentionality is obedience to your priorities. Okay, well, let that sink in for a second. I'll say that again. Intention is merely hoping for better habits. Intentionality is obedience to those priorities. Okay, so if you're making those habits a priority, you're going to be obedient to them. You're going to put them in motion. Okay, that's the difference between intentions and intentionality. For instance, I wanted to start putting my phone away at night. I know I use this example, but it's just easy. I wanted to put my phone away at night. Okay, I kept saying, I'm going to start putting my phone away at night. I'm going to start putting my phone away at night. I'm going to start putting my phone away at night. But the thing is, it's like I wasn't actually doing it until I decided, like, okay, I'm going to get an alarm clock because that's what's keeping me from doing it. So I'm going to right this second, get on Amazon, order myself an alarm clock. It's Prime. It's going to be here tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I'm starting to put my phone away. And I ordered that alarm clock. I set it up. I put my phone away, and that was it. And I never went back. Okay. I decided at the beginning of the year that I wanted to start reading before bed. Like, that was something I really wanted to put in place. I'll binge Friends all night long as I fall asleep. I wanted to start reading before bed and pouring into my leadership. So instead, I kept saying that for a few days once the new year started. But finally, I told David, I said, this is something I want to do. Intentionality, by the way, also takes accountability. You need to have an accountability if you're going to have intentionality. So my accountability was David. I said, David, I want to start reading before bed. I want to start putting that into motion. So how can we time block the evening and make sure that this happens? So we did. We literally time blocked our bedtime. We said, we're going to have all the kids in bed, ready to go, get them in bed. So they're in bed by 8:30. And then come 8:30 to 9, we'll clean up the kitchen, whatever we have to do. And then 9 o'clock, I'm in bed and I'm reading. I'm reading from 9 to 9:30. And then, 9:30, I'll watch the show or whatever. And then at 10 o'clock, it's lights off and I'm going to sleep, period. So that's so easy to just like put something into motion by being intentional with time blocking and accountability. Guess what? David put it into motion with me. He's like, sure, you want to make that happen? I'll help you make that happen. Hey, don't forget, we're getting the kids in bed, we're getting the, whatever. And so find somebody that's going to hold you accountable to your intentionality so that you have some follow through with that. The most intentional one I can think of is God, right? He is the most intentional, and we should always be trying to model ourselves after the Lord. So he created the universe in 7 days, right? He probably could have blinked it into existence and it would have been fine. It would have been wonderful and it would have been amazing, but he was super intentional. Day one, he put intention into light. Day one, he put intentionality into firmament. Day 3 was dry ground. Day 4, moon and stars. Day 5, fish and birds. Day 6, creatures. Day 7, rest. Okay. He put some intentionality in rest too. Let's not miss that. So he was very intentional with each day and how he had crafted and created each thing. He was very intentional about it. He's intentional. The Bible says his word does not come back void. He's intentional about his words. They do not come back void. He's intentional with how he sees us. He says, I know the plans for you. Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans that I have for you. God knows. He's very intentional with how he wants to use us and what he wants to do with us. He's intentional with how he created everything. You cannot explain how things are broken down into science without knowing that God is very intentional with how things would work together. Okay. God is super intentional. So intentionality, it's biblical, right? So how do we apply this? So start at the beginning. You need to go back to the beginning. What do you wish for? Okay. If you're finding a hard time diving into intentionality or making your team grow, you need to look at like, what do you wish for? What decision is the result of that wish? What's your will? What do you want to happen here? What is the plan that's going to get you there? Okay. This is your intention. And then what action step am I going to take today to put these things into motion? There we go. So when I realized that I was working from a place of intention and not intentionality, and I started flipping that, my business started to flip as a result of that, and momentum started to pick up once I started working with more intentionality. So here are some realizations that I had in ways that I was working with intention and not intentionality. And you guys can tell me if you relate to any of these or not, or you could just shake your head and tell me that I'm crazy and I'm the only one that's ever experienced these things. So, luckily these aren't all at once, but just different things I've noticed, maybe there was times where I'm scrolling a lot and I'm looking for potentials, right? I'm scrolling and I'm commenting, I'm building relationships. That's what I'm doing. I'm building relationships on Facebook. I'm spending all my time making sure that I'm active on social media. I'm trying to find the most trending audio on Reels right now. Okay. This is work. This is what I'm doing. And so you scroll and you watch Reels forever and your intentions are to build, but you aren't actually being intentional with your time and putting those things into intentional action. I was a master of motivation, but I was exempt from execution. Okay. So I'm sure everybody has found themselves in that one too. We like to call this management mode. So this is where, you slip into that management mode a bit and you're like, okay, I can hype up my team. I can get them going. I can get them excited. And, but I'm not really performing on the level that I'm asking my team to. Okay. I think I am, but I'm not putting my attention on my own growth. I'm putting it on their growth. And my attention now has slid from paying myself first to let's get them to where and that's it's not bad to want to grow your team and help them move along. But if that's your main focus, that is slipping into management mode and that is not growing your business. Okay. You are not exempt from execution, even if you are a master of motivation. Okay. The other one is I can fan other people's flames, but I'm not fueling my own fire. And this is where you get into like, it's good to be active in our team page, but when you spend, most of your day just in the team page, congratulating everybody. And then you've like commented on so many other people's statuses because you're so excited about, their status and you love what they posted and you're going through the, the post bumpers chat, that's great. Utilize that. Comment on your 3 and move on and get to work, girl, because you cannot afford to sit and just comment on everyone else's stuff and fan everyone else's flames and not fuel your own fire. When you're putting like motivational memes and exciting things in chats and you're, watching motivational videos and dropping them, like you can be all those things and you can fan flames, like I said, and be a master of motivation. But if you are not executing and you are not fueling your own fire, you're doing nobody a service. You're not leading your team well if you're not leading yourself first. So are any of those yours? Can you relate to any of those? Maybe, maybe not. So how can you be more intentional? Here's some general things you can do. Number 1 is to time block your day. Okay. Time blocking, you've heard it from most people that are, have been doing this for a while, will tell you time blocking is the number 1 way to make it happen. You have to time block so that you can be laser focused on your business from start to finish, and then put that to the side and you can be laser focused on your family or whatever. You're like, be focused during your time that you are in office. You are working on your business. You're not scrolling or anything. You are working on your business. Love people well. Meet them where they're at. Okay. So if you are recruiting, this looks like asking a lot of questions. It looks like making them the hero and not you, not talking about yourself the whole time. It's great to talk about your results, but make them the hero of your story. Make them the focus here. Okay. Go and look at your recruiting chats. And if there is more blue text, then there's more gray text. You need to rethink that a little bit. You need to be asking more questions and listening a lot more. Okay. That for recruiting, you need to love people well and love them where they're at. That helps to build value in you and your products. When you're checking in with your team, make sure that you are putting it on your calendar when you need to check in with that person next. That way, when you sit down to do your work, you've already got it laid out for you. It's very intentional. You know exactly who you need to check in with because you put it in your calendar a month ago. Love them where they're at. Help them take that next step. Your business builders, love them where they're at. Okay. This is not a copy paste business. If it was, I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't have the top probably 5 recruiters that I have right now. So, they're probably all on this call. So sorry if I'm not going to say your name. So I'm going to talk about you. So, my top 5 recruiters right now, honestly, one of them did not need the money, had no interest in doing this business with me. And I just loved her where she was at and made it fun. I made it exciting, gave her that next step. And eventually now she's one of my top recruiters. Okay. So I did not judge anybody by looking at them right away. I just loved them where they were at and showed them what an awesome community this was to be a part of. Another one of my top recruiters quit on me multiple times. She tried to quit on me. I remember last December, she sent me a message and said, I'm done. This ain't for me. I don't know. I didn't make leaders. I'm not doing whatever. And she didn't get I don't even remember what it was. She didn't get the one, and she just felt like this is not for me. A few months later, one of her like dream teamers joined her team and started taking off with her business. So had she quit, she would have missed out on that. And now she's got a booming business and she's one of my top recruiters. Another one of them, she's got a full-time job and can't really do much at home because her husband isn't 100% supportive. So when she's got time to work, she's got maybe an hour a day that we can work with. And so we've had to be very, very intentional with that hour a day. We've had to do things a little bit differently. We got to schedule things during that hour, meet people where they're at. I got 2 more. They have quit, you guys, completely quit taking products, canceled their accounts, did whatever. And now they're back and they're top recruit. Like, you have to love your team where they're at, no matter what their decisions are, no matter what they're doing. Love them where they're at. Okay. Love them through it. Because had I not just stopped and loved them where they're at, they wouldn't be some of my top recruiters right now. Okay. So like I said, love people well, listen to them, and then figure out which pillar needs the most work each month and dive into trainings to improve on those. Emily talked about the pillars last week. So if you missed that training, go listen to that again, because that one was so good. Okay. So your practical things, I'm going to jump through these really fast. I know we started a little bit late. Do y'all mind if I go a little bit over? Okay. So now the practical. What are some things that you can do to be intentional, to really put into motion to get out of any kind of rut, or if you're brand new, to just get going? Okay. Number 1, every month, make a list of 100 people at the beginning of the month, every single month. My team has heard me say this multiple times. At the beginning of every month, make a new list. I don't care if you've been in this in 1 month. I don't care if you've been in this however many, like 10 years, whatever. Make a new list every single month and shoot for 100 people on that new list. Do it right now. Like, well, not on this call, but like, don't wait to make your list. Like, as soon as you sit down to do your work next time, make that list. Okay. Then Next to each person, write down which is the most effective form of communication. I have what I like to call my tier of effective communication. And so it's basically like, obviously the top tier is get in person with them, meet with, go have coffee with them, have them over, stop at their house, whatever, like meet up with them. Next tier down is get on a phone call with them. The next tier down would be, if you can't get on a call, you can't go meet them in person, send them a video, send them a video to their phone, and just say, hey, I just wanted to get my face in front of you. I wanted you to hear my heart. I thought this was the best way, make light of it. Here's my face. Look at my face. I just wanted you to see my face. I don't know. Make it fun, make it light, The next one would be a voice text. Make sure you're voice texting. And then the last would be a text, just, messaging them. Guys, again, this is not a copy paste business. So if you are doing your reach outs by constant copy pastes, I'm going to challenge you to get out of that rut and be more intentional with your reach outs. Okay. So next to each person, write down which way of communication that you are going to connect with them. And then every day sit down, you already know exactly who you are reaching out to, and you know exactly how you're going to do it. Okay. You know exactly what you're needing to do. And then in number 2, invite one new person on your VIP customers into team calls each week. Find one person that you just want to jump on team calls with. Okay. At the beginning of the month, write down 3 VIPs that you want to take the next step, and then work with them on what that next step is. Okay. These are just VIP customers. These are not new reach outs. These are people that are already in your office that are not pursuing the business or haven't taken those steps yet. They are just happy product users. Number 3, schedule out sip and shares each month. Decide to have that sip and share. You guys set the date, period. Like set the date for the month. I'm having this sip and share, period. Don't post it, or like don't schedule anything over it. This is my sip and share time. Get those invites out, set the date. If you don't set the date, it's not going to happen. Get a sip and share, at least one every single month, and then find 3 VIPs that will host a sip and share for you. Ask them, hey, would you be interested in just having some girlfriends over? You put on the coffee. I will do all the rest of it. I want to bring over some stuff and share with our friends. Get 3 sip and shares from your VIPs on the books every month. By the way, those are like amazing for duplication, because you can get in there and basically say, hey, you were at this was super easy, right? It was easy to just come and listen and try it all out. Would you be interested in hosting one of these at your house? Like, you invite your friends over, and guess what? There's a $150 Boot Barn gift card for you this month, and just put that into motion, and you can start duplicating that right there. The next thing is write down exactly who you're looking for in your business. Okay. Write down who it is that you want to join your team. Write down the values that you want them to have, the traits that you want them to carry. Like, write down your ideal business builders and start looking for those people, because you're going to start talking to those people intentionally, but almost like you're going to start subconsciously talking to those people. You're going to start posting to those people, and those people are going to be naturally attracted to you. Number 5, go to the events. If you are not going to the events, host a watch party or go to a watch party. Make these events a priority, whatever you have to do. You've pretty much got the schedule for the year on what the events are. Start taking those off work now, whatever you need to do, like invest in your business and get to the events, whether it's at the corporate event or if it is a watch party or whatever you need to do. Number 7, take ownership of your team. Okay. You have to take ownership of your own team and be intentional with your team. God put them in your care for you to steward well. Okay. Not for corporate, not for your upline, not for the big team, whatever. Like he put them in your care for you to steward well. Steward your team well and take ownership in your team. If you're not taking ownership in your own team, you're not going to see duplication and growth happening like you want to. Okay. Ways to do this is to plugging into corporate events together. We drive to see each other. Sometimes we go to Austin to see Ashley, or we're going to Houston to see Jessica or whatever. Like we drive to see each other. They drive up here. We do team huddles every single week on Thursday nights. We do huddles. I didn't wait for somebody else to do a huddle for me to plug. Like, I just started doing them because we wanted to have them. We do scheduled coaching calls on Zoom every Monday. That's something you can take ownership in and implement with your team right now. We do Bible study together every Thursday. One of our values was we wanted to be rooted in our faith. So we started doing Bible studies. We started doing the team huddles. Here's the thing. Part of that is follow through, right? So if you're going to start these things, make sure you're following through no matter how they're turning out, right? So you have to read the room. If you really feel like, hey, team huddles are the way to go, Stick with those team huddles and follow through with them every single Thursday. There's been a lot of team huddles where it's been Kristen and I looking at each other like, all right, well, I guess we'll talk some plexus. It's just the two of us tonight, and that's okay. And we just keep going. And the next week, maybe we've got 14 people showing up. So just hold the huddle so that they have some consistency and they've got something steady to look forward to. You are the steady consistency for them. So be that for them. And then run challenges with your team. Don't wait for a corporate or who, like, you can put together the same challenges. Like we have the reset challenge going on in the Pink Power right now. Obviously, if we're running some with the big team, like plug your team into those, absolutely. But if you're wanting to do a challenge and you think that's going to spur some momentum, which by the way, they almost always do if you use them well. So our team thrives in challenges. We love challenges. We dive into challenges. We really own the challenges. So we love setting up challenges, and we don't wait for somebody to do it for us. We don't wait for corporate to do us. We just decide we want to do a challenge. We'll put together a challenge. We'll sometimes go find one. I remember Chris Rosencrantz put together this beautiful intermittent fasting challenge that we wanted to do last year. And so it was easy to just copy paste what she already did. Like, this is what we do as one Plexus. So if you see a challenge that you love, chances are the person that built that does not mind if you use it. They probably put a lot of work into it and like to see it used more often. So build your own challenges, make it fun for your team. Number 8, be in your back office, know what's happening in there, check your perks report, sort your order statuses, look for credit card declines, who's got their subs off, who's close to ranking up. You have to know these things. So for you to be intentional with your business, you have to know where your business is at. Number 9, work with urgency. Intentionality is not delayed. It is immediate. Okay. Intentionality is making the decision now to make it happen and doing it. If you have things you want to implement, write them down. Like, just go ahead and write all the things that you're wanting to take intentionality with, write those things down, and then ASAP start implementing them. Like right now, implement them, make them happen, move towards intentionality here. Schedule it, make it happen. You cannot keep waiting till the end of the month to make things happen. Okay. You can't keep waiting until the contest is almost over and now you're trying to stack 1,000,000 points. Like, intentionality is making sure that you have a plan and putting it into motion early on and working with urgency. And then last is roadmap your goals and know exactly who and what you need to hit those goals. That is the first way, because that maps your intentions, and you do need solid intentions for you to act on intentionality. So real quick, I'm going to go through, I know we're running a little bit over, but that's okay. I'm going to go through the convention contest really quick so you can kind of see what this looks like. So oh, whoops, I did not share my screen. Hold on. This is what, there we go. I'm like, let me just look at myself here and I'll check it out and you guys can just listen to me talk. All right. Can you all see everything? Yeah. Anybody? Yes. Jessica Tanner, I can see you. Yes or no? If I'm sharing my screen. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So, we're going to start here. Of course, my Zoom is in the way for my play. Okay, we'll just go through here. It's fine. All right, so Road to Nashville. This is intentionally sweeping the convention contest. You need to be intentional about this if you want to sweep the contest. You can't sweep a contest accidentally. I'm going to tell you that right now. It does not happen by accident. You have to be intentional about how you're going to go about it. And you have to have a plan in place. So what are these things? So what is the convention contest? So for every person that you recruit in a month, you get 20 credits. The prize credits are so for this month, you can earn a $150 Boot Barn gift card, right? That's the prize for this month. You can earn up to 2 prizes, either by getting another 3 joins or by helping someone on your team rank up. So that's silver, senior silver, whatever that looks like, helping them rank up, you get another prize. So if you are recruiting everyone you recruit, you get 20 credits, and then you get 40 credits for each prize that you earn, up to 2 every month. Your level 1s, you get 15 credits for everyone they recruit personally, and you get 30 credits for every gift that they earn, up to 2 per person, right? So that can really stack. Level 2s, for everybody they recruit, you get 10 credits, and then you get 20 credits for every gift that they earn. Again, that stacks. And then your 3s and 4s, you get 5 credits for every recruit, every new join that they get, and then 10 credits for every gift that they get, 2 per person every month, right? So what can you earn? You get $50 at the convention store for 300 credits. Okay, you can pretty much do that on your own if you wanted to. $300 or $50 at the convention store is really fun for you to be able to kind of spend money and, you know, get a fun t-shirt or whatever. $100 travel voucher for 600 credits. So they're going to help you with your travel. For 900 credits, you get a $200 Plexus One card. This is basically like a prepaid Visa kind of thing. So you get your Plexus card, credit card, you know, loaded card, when you have 900 credits. So that will also help to pay for a lot of your convention costs too. 1,200 winner's dinner. Pro tip, do not miss that winner's dinner. You do not want to miss that, okay? You are going to have the worst FOMO if you do not hit that winner's dinner. Don't miss it. And then for 1,500 credits, you get $500 travel cash. 2,000 credits gets you $750 travel cash. 2,500 credits gets you $1,000 spending money. And then 3,000 credits gets you that black tie gala, which is over the moon. I can't even describe that event. It is so phenomenal. You do not want to miss that either. Okay. The cool thing about this, you guys, is it all stacks. So if you get, you know, 2,000 credits, you get $750 cash and $500 cash and the winner's dinner and the $200 Plexus card and travel voucher. And so you get, and it all stacks. So you're actually adding on all these prizes, which is just so amazing. Okay. That winner's dinner that I was telling you about, it is at the Wild Horse Saloon. And check this out, y'all. It is so beautiful inside, and Plexus knows how to party, and they know how to make everything look like a swanky Hollywood party. So check out that venue. I guarantee it is going to be decked out to the nines. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be like, what is that? No holds barred, I think is how you say it. No, it's going to be so amazing. They're not going to hold back, you guys. The winner's dinner, they always go out like so much. You don't want to miss this winner's dinner. All right, so how in the world do you get your team in that room? Remember that these prizes are the rewards for the results, right? But the results can only come from targeted action or intentionality. So David built me this amazing, and I'm happy to share it with you as much as you need. David built me this beautiful chart here, and basically, all the math is in here for me, and I love it because my 6 credits, I'm going to get 6 joins this month. It already knows that my 6 is worth 20. So it's populating. I'm going to get 120 credits for that. So I've got my goal and I've got my actual. So you can go in here and you can say like, okay, my goal is I'm going to get 6 joins this month, which is going to get me 2 gifts. And then my level 1s, I want 4 of my level 1s to get 3 people. By the way, this isn't brand new silver. So keep that in mind. This is already business builders. You just need 4 level 1s to get 3 people. So that's 12 joins. And then that's 4 gifts. By the way, someone could do 2 of those. Like you could have one person that does 2 of those gifts. They get 6 people. My level 2 joins, I want 12 new level 2, or I want my level 2s to have 12 joins. I know it looks a little bit confusing because it's not my level 2 joins. It's my level 2 getting their joins. But I want them to have 12 joins. So again, that's 4 people, and that gets me 4 gifts. So you can see over here, I have David Allen is actually my husband, and Layla and Finley are my dogs. And then Joey, Rachel, Monica, and Chandler are my level 2s. And then Monica actually recruited Ross, and Chandler recruited Phoebe. So now they're my level 3. So I want Ross and Phoebe now the next month to go in February. And, you know, they're going to get, I want my level 3 joints to be 1. And then that's good. Or no, sorry. I want that to be 3. And then that's going to be 1 gift for me. So see how this is populating here, here, and here. So the cool thing about this is if you just get 6 joins every month, you have 4 level 1s that get 3 people and 4 level 2s that get 3 people. If you just do that every month, that's going to give you 2,800. Okay. That's minus this thing I just put in there. That's going to give you 2,800 credits. That's only 2 away from the black tie gala, y'all. That is not hard. And I'm going to tell you, it's not easy, but it is simple. That's what I'm trying to show you, but you have to be intentional. So use your notes over here, write down, okay, I have David, Allen, Layla, and Finley, who all work really hard. They're my level 1s, or they're the ones that I recruit this month. I want to help them go silver this month. If you are brand new, you can do this. Okay. Even if you just started yesterday, go have a sip and share, have your new people get a sip and share before the month is over. You still have an entire week of this month left. Get some sip and shares on the books, or have some Facebook events, or do, virtual Zooms or whatever you need to do some tastings, and you can get your joins and then help them get their joins, help them get 3 people, right? And then you're set up to start now adding to this. This is simple, but like I said, even if we take away these level 3s and these level 4s, and you just work on your 1s getting joins and your 2s getting joins, you're looking at 2,800 credits at the end of this. This is not hard, you guys. This is very, very, very doable, but you have to be intentional. So like I said, write this in the comments and then go through and say like, okay, David, he's local, so I'm going to get a sip and share on the book for David. Okay. And then Joey, he really loves to eat. So we're going to take him out for lunch, and we're going to do some vision casting with him. And you like really just start to be intentional with your people, meet them where they're at, and start working on helping them to develop and go silver as well. All right. How do I want to stop screen sharing, so I want to get back here. Okay, perfect. So I hope you guys have seen, like, this is pretty doable. It's very simple. It's very duplicatable. This is easy for you guys to really just capitalize on, as long as you are intentional. You have to be intentional with this, or it's not going to work. Okay. Like I said, sip and shares, Zoom virtual sip and sees. We've done those before, where I'm like, hey, listen, if you can get 10 friends to commit to showing up Tuesday at 7 o'clock, I'm going to send out some samples for them. They'll have them ready. Well, I'll shake them up together and we'll do it over Zoom together. If you are wanting to, help your best friend go silver, hey, invite some girlfriends over. I'm going to bring all my stuff. We're going to get you silver today. I literally did it yesterday with one of my people. We went and had a sip and share. No, Sunday. That was yesterday. We went and sip and share at her house. She invited multiple people, and she got for her 3 people yesterday. And all 3 of those people are ready to, most of those people are ready to run an event this week. So this is duplicatable, and it can happen very quickly as long as you are intentional and carve out the time for it. So, all right. And yes, we will drop that in there so that you guys can track your own stuff, because I know it's so fun to plug and play. And I love that. And what I love about it is that if you saw, there was a goals and then there was an actual. So I'm plugging in the actual as I go on my live document. So every time we get a new join on my team, I'm adding that in and plugging that in, and it's populating. So I know exactly how many credits I have already. And then I can go through and adjust my goals up here based on where I'm maybe behind or whatever, So the great thing is if you are a little bit behind in January, you got February to make it up. So you guys are amazing. I'm excited to see how you guys start working a lot more intentionally. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I would love to chat more with y'all, and we will drop that document in the comments of the recording. So y'all have a good night.